Marketing, a HubSpot Diamond partner agency, Joachim Koch. Today, Joachim will share insights into how internal link building for SEO can help your business achieve its marketing and business objectives. Joachim, we're delighted to have you share your expertise with us. Over to you.
Thank you, Madison. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. And what we're doing today is we're talking about internal link building for SEO. And I'm hoping everybody sees the presentation. What we're looking to cover here is SEO. We'll talk a little bit about Google Eat. And see how does internal link building fit into the whole scheme there of driving authoritativeness, and how does it help to drive search engine rankings, and how do you actually do it? So if I'm jumping here on to the objectives page, so the idea is to increase website visibility by improving the website search engine rankings using internal link building. And we'll talk about what is it and how do you actually do it. And when you look at, and those of you guys who are in that space, who watch videos on YouTube, who watch the players on the Google side, John Mueller probably means something to you. And here's a quote from him. Yes, absolutely. Does internal link building matter? It is super critical and is one of the biggest things you can do on a website to guide Google and visitors to the pages you think are important, and you define what is important. So this is your way to direct the visitor, the reader of your content, and to direct the search engines to pages that are important. And once Google agrees pages are important, Google will rank them higher. That's the whole approach there. So what are we talking about today? We're not talking about external link building and external links. External links are those where visitors either click on your site and get to another website. Those are the outbound external links, or the inbound external links are those where somebody clicks on another website and links to your domain. We're talking about internal link building. Internal link building are those hyperlinks that direct the reader from your page, from the page they're currently on, to a target page on your website. They're not pages, they're not links within a page where you link to an anchor and you jump in that page. They're pages, they're links that link to another page in your topic cluster. We'll talk about that, or in general to another page on your website. Why is internal link building important? Internal link building, or what are the benefits? Benefits, you're doing something that Google says is important, so that's always good. I'm joking, but it increases the usability and readability. If you're able to send via a link the reader of your text to a page that explains something more in detail, that is beneficial. That increases overall usability, readability, time people spend on your pages, on your site. That improves, and we'll cover that a little bit further, authoritativeness within a topic cluster. It improves your page rank, and it decreases the bounce rate, because people don't just disappear. They come to the one page, oh, that's pretty cool, and disappear, but they stumble into, oh, by the way, this is interesting. Let me read up on this one. Let me read up on this. And they inform themselves about the topic you're covering, and that drives, again, increased time on site, reduced bounce rates, all metrics that are relevant when it comes to Google understanding what it is, when it comes to people coming back to your site, when it comes to people who visited your site, building external link to your site because they get it. You are an authority within for a certain topic. So one of the key principles for Google search ranking is Google EEAT. and you will get the presentation afterwards, and you will be able to, if you haven't seen it, here at the bottom right is a link to the search quality evaluator guidelines. If you have a spare moment, it's only 176 pages. You can read up on what is it that Google actually values in terms of quality of content when Google is making assessments in terms of page ranking, et cetera, et cetera. So, but the key principles in here, the Google EEAT is what is it that makes a website, what is it that makes a web page come across as relevant, is experience, demonstrate that you actually know what you're talking about, you got the gray hair, expertise. This is not the 15-year-old that criticizes Warren Buffett that he doesn't know how to manage money, but is a website that shows expertly that you actually are qualified to talk about something. Authoritativeness is where the internal link building plays. This is the extent to which your website, the content creator, is actually known or becomes known as the go-to source for a certain topic. So rather than writing the one-page blog or whatever page, pillar page, landing page on I'm an expert in SEO, you're covering SEO from a technical perspective, on page, off page, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and build an entire cluster of content. That's what's driving authoritativeness when linked appropriately. That will boost that authoritativeness and helps you from a ranking perspective. Trustworthiness is the ultimately what you want to achieve. Your visitors begin to trust you as the competent resource who can cover the topic, who can discuss the topic, but who might also be the resource to use if reader has problems, issues, work to be done on their side. So, example, we're talking about SEO and SEO link building, internal link building today, because somebody might say, hey, you know what, we have that problem. These guys at Aspiration Marketing might know what they're talking about. We understand what it is, but we might need a hand and begin to reach out. That's the idea of the trustworthiness, why you're doing it. So let's talk about how do we actually do that. In one of the prior sessions, we talked about topic clusters, so that you're basically building around a pillar page, a in-depth coverage, a ultimate guide style page that covers the topic, whatever that might be, that is the area you want to be known for, your business wants to be known for, and wants to be found for. That's what you're covering on the pillar page. And around the pillar page, rule of thumb, have 20-ish blog posts or equivalent content that drives people to the topic cluster, but links back out from the topic cluster as well. So those are is a very typical design of a topic cluster. You want to make it buyer persona specific and address your target buyer personas. You don't want to just write and you don't really know and you don't really care what it is about, and you want to go through the stages of the buyer's journey, awareness, consideration, and decision making, and want to make sure that you organize content along those lines. So that's the, if you want, the content foundation. So how do you actually now build internal links? So looking at kind of three areas where how we build links internally. One set of links are just looking at a topic cluster. When you look at the image, the spider that we just looked at before, in that topic cluster, we're taking text where keywords are mentioned and link that to, I'll show that in a second, we'll link that to the blog post that is actually the specialized targeted blog post for that keyword. And there is links then from each and every one of those blog posts here to the pillar page, but this post here might also link to this post over here, because this post here has the in-depth coverage of a sentence, of a statement, or a couple of them that are mentioned here. So those are links within a topic cluster. We'll talk about tools and how-tos in a second. And then the other one linked to posts that otherwise don't have links. So go through your website on a regular basis. What are the pages that do not have links, that are orphans? And make sure that you're linking to those pages, because that makes Google, other search engines aware of those posts exists. That helps from a speed perspective to get those pages crawled. That gets visitors to visit those pages when they see the links. That's a second group. So don't have any orphans on your website from an internal link building perspective. And the third one is the new posts. So as an example, we're posting currently 3 times a week. There's content going out. What we do is the post is out, and within 24 hours, we'll make an effort to link to that new post from existing content to give that post some link juice. So in terms of that's the conceptual approach. Let's look at some of the details here. So topic cluster links. So how do we do that? Topic cluster links. When one of the tools we're using, and this is available in the Ahrefs Webmaster tools, and it's free. You also find it in the paid versions, but what you need here for internal link building purposes is free. You basically run your site audit, and you get from Ahrefs link opportunities. You get link opportunities within your website where you get keywords. Say you're ranking for or want to be ranking for technical SEO. Ahrefs goes through the website and identifies what pages have that term technical SEO as in the text, not hyperlinked or just existing. It will suggest where in your page, which page that text is. It will find it, and it will suggest the hyperlink, the page you should be linking to, meaning the page that in depth, in this case, covers technical SEO. So you will get, anytime you run that site audit and anytime you run the internal link opportunities, a number. It very much depends on how optimized is your website, but you will get a number of suggestions. What page to go to, what keyword to find, and how to hyperlink it to what type of page. A super cool tool, and again, it's available free. That makes a super big difference. I hope nobody from the Ahrefs side is listening to this now or in the recording and says, "Oh, by the way, if this is so valuable, let's not make it for free, available for free anymore." But it is available for free. The other way to do that, especially for new posts, if you might not have crawled the post quite yet, is to simply use the Google Site command. where you can go in here. You might know that command. If not, try it out. Where you basically have site colon, then you have your domain, and then you have the keyword, and then Google gives you and it's important, site with a lower case S versus a capital one. That makes a difference. So lowercase site colon your domain and then your keyword, and then what the Google search results would produce is what you see here as an example. If you're searching Ahrefs for inbound marketing, you find 902 pages that have the term inbound marketing available, and then you say, hey, I just created a page on inbound marketing, and those are the page you will be linking to, and you have 902 pages in this case that you can use to link from. That's an example. I mean, it's a hypothetical example. Of course, will we not go in here and link from 902 pages from inbound marketing, but that way you at least get a start. All right. So the other one, links to orphan posts. Same thing here, where we're using the Ahrefs site audit that identifies what are pages. You see this. You see this here in the screenshot, where this site has 2 pages that have no incoming links. And then it even goes one step further and says, well, one link really isn't that good. So here are pages that only have 1 do follow incoming internal link. And there's 71 of those. So you might want to go into your examples, your cases, and make sure you reduce that number of 71 to the amount that's appropriate, right? So, and then I have mentioned this, links to new posts, where whenever we publish a post, we're looking to identify 5 or more pages referencing the keyword that the new post should be ranking for, and within the first 24 hours of publication, we go in and build that internal link network of 5 or more, and link to that new post to give it the visibility right from the get-go in the Google search results. And it's actually pretty amazing what this does to speed of ranking. We have posts, very commonly have posts that rank reasonably highly. Not everyone on the first page, but rank reasonably highly, first page or first 2 pages within the first 2 weeks of publication, which is pretty cool, especially when you're in a competitive space. All right, moving into do's and don'ts. Many of them we talked about already. So from a quantitative perspective, because that's the question that's being asked, how many links should I have? What's a good rule of thumb? Good rule of thumb is do what's right for the user. That's part of Google Eat. That's part of common sense. Unfortunately, not everybody applies it all the time, but don't overstuff a page with internal links just because you want to rank, but make it reasonable. A good rule of thumb, 20 to 30 links per 2,000 word blog post. Don't go above 100, but somewhere in that below 50 range is a range that we're targeting. Orphan posts have at least a minimum of 5. New posts link within the first 24 hours of posting. And a super important thing, this is like SEO, internal link building, is to a certain extent like losing weight or staying fit. Establish a routine. If you're not having a routine, if you're doing this whenever you get to it, it doesn't work. Establish a routine. Put yourself a to-do in the calendar every morning before 7 a.m. Or whatever time frame you're setting. Address 20 or more internal link opportunities. Get it done, improve it. If I was to get 10 cents for every visitor's you guys generate from applying this between now and the end of the year, I'd be millionaire 10 times over. So this stuff works, and you got to do it. That's the bottom line. In terms of don'ts, don't just link. Don't just link because you need links for this post, because this post needs to rank high. Make it a useful reference for the reader that gives additional detail where needed, that is helpful for the reader. And also, don't use the same anchor text. Don't use, we want to rank for HubSpot, but HubSpot has 5 hubs, has a service hub, has a marketing hub, has others, that we use the word HubSpot, and one time link to this hub, one to a time link to the next hub, and so on. That confuses the reader, that cannibalizes the keywords, so don't do that. And what I said on the prior page in terms of establish your routine, the biggest don't is that you say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Once you get off the webinar here is grab your site and get started. That's the biggest piece of advice that I think we can give you. Internal link building works. Internal link building requires a discipline to get it done, and it will show the results in terms of increasing your ranking and increasing some of the core web vitals in terms of bounce rates, in terms of usability and readability for the user. Wrapping this up, a couple of additional resources. There's actually a blog post that covers the topic a little bit more. Tools to use. We didn't talk about it too much today, but that topic cluster is something that you can very well support with the tools available in the HubSpot Marketing Hub Pro. There's an SEO tool in there. There's a tool that helps you focus on making sure that keywords are used throughout the cluster. I've mentioned it, super big fan of the Ahrefs webmaster tool for the internal link building opportunities. You can always go back to the webinars we currently have out there. On our YouTube channel, you can subscribe to the new ones, and there's also a link in here if you want us to give you a hand with how to get that started for your site, for your business. You can reach out to the SEO team on our side. And as already before, if you like the video, go like it when you see it on YouTube, subscribe to it, and share it to other people in your network. That would be super cool. Contact information here. And so we're basically through the webinar. Let me look into, I've seen a couple of questions pop up, and if there's any other questions, we can cover those as well. So let me see. What are a couple here? Is there a limit for internal links? So we talked a little bit about it, kind of rule of thumb, between 20, 30, below 50. There's people who say there's a hard limit of 150. I'm not sure. I've seen posts with 150, 150 internal links in there, how they can still be readable. But below 100, you're probably safe. And if you're below 50, but have like 20 or 30 for a 2,000 word blog post, you're probably in a very good range. All right. So what do you do when links break? That's the next question here. So links break because you change the URL of your blog post, of your website page. That's you're probably doing that a lot. And what typically should happen, and what helps to avoid links breaking, is that you do a redirect from the old page to the new page. That's that has to be standard practice, that you're not getting to broken links and 404 error messages. But what we do, we clean up those redirects, while Google states eloquently that this does not hurt PageRank when you do a redirect. Over time, it can generate just a poor user experience when you change your URL 5 times, and then there's a redirect, a redirect, a redirect, a redirect, and a redirect. That's slower load times, and that's just not a good user experience. So over time, we go in there and clean up internal links on a regular basis, and tools like Ahrefs also help you with that. When you link to a post that redirects, change it to the ultimate target that you want to have. That's a best practice that we're applying in-house here. Which pages should I do first when building internal links? Think about the keywords you want to be ranking for. And what pages drive that ranking, what pages are ranking highest. So again, purpose of SEO, one of the key purposes of SEO is not necessarily to generate traffic, it is to rank high, and it is to rank high on the first page, as high as possible on the first page. So in order to get started, I would start with the pages that rank on page 1, but not in the first 3, and see with internal link building, can you get those by linking to those pages rank higher. So pages, again, in the 5 to 15 or so range, how do you get those on the first page? That's what I would start with. And I would also see that, again, all new content, the moment it's being published, link to it. I don't know if that answered the question. I hope it does. There's a thumbs up. Next question here. In a middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel, top of the funnel situation, is there a recommended amount of internal links to consider in a pillar page? I'm not sure I would differentiate middle, bottom, top of the funnel there. I would stick with, again, it needs to be making sense for the reader, and I would stick with something we're using internally, the 20 to 30 links to within 2,000 words. Now pillar pages can be easily 5,000 words, can be 10,000 words, but that doesn't necessarily mean to go up over proportionally or even proportionally. So I would probably not go above 100 links for a pillar page. Is there a preferred approach, writing an article first and then searching for relevant part? This is the, I mean, it very much depends on how you get started. If you're starting a website, you don't know what's working. I mean, there's this Alex Hormozy thing. When you get started, you suck. You work more and more and more, you suck a little less, and at some point, you might actually get good. It's kind of that approach that's being referenced here. So that happens at the beginning, but the more you actually get into a mode that you don't just post a blog post and then see how does it make sense, and then you post another one, and then you post another one, and you piece it together after the fact. But the more you get into a here is the topic cluster, here's the topic I want to dominate, and here are the keywords I want to drive, that topic, the sub keywords and the subtopics, the more you can get there and make this a strategic content creation to fill certain gaps. That would be the suggestion. That way you get out of this forced and unnatural experience. And as you find that out, once you've created content over time, what we absolutely would recommend is you go back into your past content and you rewrite it so that it makes more sense now that you have the topic cluster a little bit more complete. So I think we're at the top of the hour. So I want to wrap this up, and I want to thank everyone for participating, and I want to wish you all the best from a link building perspective. Thanks for participating. When you see the recording on YouTube, go give it a like, go share it, and all the best of luck. Thank you.